I've got more content to share from development camp, and we will also hear from Utica Comets head coach Ryan Perrant. There's a lot to break down in today's episode of Locked On Devils. Buckle up, everybody.
You're Locked On Devils, your daily podcast on the New Jersey Devils. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hi, this is Bryce Salvador, and you're Locked On Devils with Trey Matthews.
Stepped up, nailed it. Brodor's got the puck. What a shot. The Devils win the Stanley Cup.
Alrighty now, what is up, New Jersey? Welcome back to the Locked On Devils podcast here at the Locked On Network. I'm your host, Jakub play announcer, Devils Wire Pucks Pitchforks, and also part-time credential media member, Trey Matthews. Throughout the week, I've been playing all sorts of sound bites from development camp, analyzing some young players in the Devils pipeline. In the previous episode, I talked about Shimo Nemitz and Seamus Casey, their futures with the organization. Two young, highly touted defensemen that I think a lot of people should be excited for. Today's episode, we're going to continue with that trend. I will play some sound bites from development camp. You will also hear from Comets head coach Ryan Perrant. I get it. You guys want some juicy off-season news. Luke Hughes still has not signed his extension. Andre Palat is still on the roster. The X factor is Dougie Hamilton. Does he stay or does he go? I'm just going to keep it real with you guys. Nothing new in any of those developments. In fact, I think people are saying that more likely than not, Hamilton will stay put. Andre Palat, the problem you have with him is that he has a modified no movement clause. So if the Devils are unable to move him this offseason, they're kind of stuck with him. I think Tom Fitzgerald is ringing up the phone lines and just asking somebody to take Andre Palat off the Devils' hands. But Palat is making it a little difficult, and I guess I can understand a little bit from Palat's end because Palat has only been in a playoff situation. Like, he's only played with two teams, the Lightning and the Devils, but I don't think he's too keen on going to the Ducks, the Sharks, or the Blackhawks. A few teams that are trying to reach the cap floor, not the cap ceiling, the cap floor. So that's why a team like the Ducks, they were willing to take on Chris Kreider or Jacob Trouba because they just need some extra money to spend. But on Palat's end, it's just like, why would I want to go to Anaheim? Why would I want to go to San Jose? Why would I want to go to Chicago? No disrespect. I can understand it, but from a business standpoint, Fitzgerald really has to unload that contract because Luke Hughes needs an extension. So I'm really hoping something comes into fruition next week. And for Luke Hughes, the good news is that he was not eligible to be given an offer sheet, so he doesn't need to go to arbitration or anything like that. The Devils can sort of take their time. They still have all that power, but I think people, including myself, are getting a little antsy. Those are your quick updates on all of those developments. Like I said, we'll see what happens within the coming days, but yeah, we're kind of at a standstill when it comes to the offseason, but I believe there's more in store. All right, let's talk about some of these young guns because, like I told you guys, development camp sort of gets lost in the fold of everything that's going on because of free agency, the draft. But if Jersey Joe were here, he'd tell you that development camp could be really exciting because you could see the future for the Devils or any team. So let's get back into it. The first player we're going to analyze is Jakub Malek. Now, here's the thing. Malek was a fourth-round selection by the Devils back in 2021. He recently signed his entry-level contract, and he might be the future when it comes to the Comets because I talked about it in a prior episode, but Nico Dawes' time with the Devils might be coming close to an end because the Devils extended Jake Allen for 5 more seasons, and I don't think there's any room for Dawes because teams don't typically carry 3 goalies on their active roster because you can only dress 2 of them. So it doesn't make sense for Dawes to just be a healthy scratch 95% of the time if Markstrom and Allen are healthy, and you can't send them down to Utica without any repercussion. So I think the Devils might look to move Dawes because if they try sending him down, I'm willing to bet he's not going to clear through waivers. Just no way. He has a lot of talent. So that's just the reality and the politics of this industry. But I'm excited for Jakub Malek, courtesy of Dauber Prospects. Here's what they had to say about him. He's a tall, athletic, drafted goaltender with a proactive mindset, uses his stick efficiently to block out the slot, has a low posture that makes him susceptible to shots from further out. He stands 6'4", weighs 170 pounds. Here's another observation. This came back in October 2024. Malek has become the Devils' most promising goaltender prospect over the last few seasons. I would like to argue that I think Mike Yegorov is talked about way more just because he was ranked number 1 in North America going into the 2024 draft. But digressing a little bit, since joining a team out in Finland in 2022-2023, he has turned into their starting netminder, posting a goals against average of under 2.35 and a save percentage over .910 since the start of last season. His athletic ability is undeniable, and at 6'4", he has the stature to become a starting goaltender at the NHL level. I think Malek will be a good replacement for Dawes in Utica because that's my area of concern. The Comets weren't really good last year. They might be losing Nico Dawes, which just adds insult to injury. But I talked about this with Jersey Joe. Malek might be a solid addition for Devils once he makes his way to the AHL. So this past season, Malek played in Finland. He appeared in 33 games. He had a record of 15, 11, and 6. He had a .910 save percentage, and he had a goals against average of 2.09. He also recorded 4 shutouts. I just want to add this. He is not Finnish. He originally hails from Czechia. So there's the background information on Jakub Malek, and here's what he had to say to the Devils media during development camp. Take a listen.
Well, let's get your thoughts on the development camp. Obviously wrapped up with the scrimmage here. How fun has this week been, and how important is it for kind of your development?
Yeah, I think it was a perfect week for everyone. It was really fun to be here. A lot of good training, so I really enjoyed this time to be here. So it was perfect to be here again, and I can't wait to come in a couple months.
And I know you had the last 3 years playing in the Pro League. What do you think you learned in your game playing in the Liga and really playing against the pro-level talents and other teams?
Yeah, every year was different in Finland. Like the last one taught me what I thought was the consistencies during the games. Like between the games, like every game was more consistent than the previous year. So that was the big step. And of course, how I said last year also, the game is fast. So I think it's really good for the goalie to be there. And then if you come here, you are kind of used to play on the fast level, how is in NHL and AHL. So I think that prepares me a lot for the next years.
And I know you're going to Utica next year. We always talk about the ice size between Europe and North America, and obviously it affects the guys, but how does it affect a goaltender, too, when you're kind of working on your angles or where you're visualizing the puck? Like, what challenges will that have when you're adapting to the North American game?
Yeah, I think there is like a huge difference because somewhere in Finland there is like really wide the pitch. So yeah, of course it's different. I have to use to it, but this week didn't even was that bad. I think for me that it felt like normal, that usually in Finland. So yeah, it probably can take like couple days, but I think not a big deal.
And what are you looking forward to next year in Utica? What are you trying to accomplish? Maybe some goals.
What can be the goals? I think to win Calder Cup probably, and yeah, I can't wait to be there because it will be totally new, something totally new for me. So I can wait for the fun, I can wait for the games, and I can wait to be there with the guys.
You look forward to North American living too a little bit, or change your pace there?
Yeah. Of course, it will be something totally different than in Europe, but I think I got used to it when I moved from Czech to Finland, so I think it wouldn't be that bad.
Was it a big adjustment when you went to Finland? I don't know how you are with the language or anything like that. Were there any barriers? Their English is very good.
Yeah, there is only the language barrier that Finnish and Czech is like really different language, but I think it was that bad as I expected, so I think also it wouldn't be here.
Like I said in my prior discussion with Jersey Joe, I think Malek would be a solid addition to the Utica Comets, and I'm excited to see what the future has in store. Obviously, a player like Mike Yegorov will take way more priority because Yegorov has a really bright future. Let me tell you, I'm going to continue to say that till the cows go home. Right now, Yegorov is set to play another season with the Boston University Terriers. Jay Pandolfo told me that they're in no rush to get him out of there. Hopefully the Terriers are able to actually win the national tournament and not finish runner-up. I'm really confident in their team. All right, we're going to hear from Cole Brown and Ryan Perrant momentarily, but before we continue, let me tell you guys about Game Time. Have you ever decided at the last minute to head to a ball game with friends or family? Maybe it's game day and you suddenly realize you want to be in the stands. That's exactly where Game Time comes in. It's the easiest way to grab last minute tickets without the stress. With the money you save on tickets, you can splurge on food, drinks, merch, or even invite a bigger group to come with you. Game Time makes it possible. Game Time makes buying tickets fast and simple. Prices on the app actually drop the closer you get to first pitch. And they've got incredible last minute deals, clear seat views, and the lowest price guarantee that takes the worry out of buying. Game Time is the official ticketing partner of Locked On NHL, making it easy to browse the app for an exciting upcoming NHL game. I know we're still in July, but believe it or not, October will be here before you know it. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Okay, obviously there were a lot of youngsters at development camp, so I was pondering which prospect do I want to analyze next, and I settled on Cole Brown. He was drafted in the 6th round back in 2023, but I'm actually excited to see what he could potentially do. So here's a scouting report. To use his shot, he reads the momentum of opponents and occasionally dictates it. He cuts inside when defenders give him the opportunity, beats them down the outside, and cuts back when they lean in. Even more excitingly, he pulls defenders toward him, then dekes through them to create a lane to the net. Brown is committed to play at the University of Notre Dame. He last played for the Brantford Bulldogs in the OHL. In 67 games played, he put up 33 goals, 37 assists for a grand total of 70 points. During the playoffs, he appeared in 11 games, had 2 goals, 7 assists for a grand total of 9 points. Here's what Cole Brown had to say at development camp.
Being back here at this camping around all the prospects again, getting to know some new guys and some of the old guys and kind of catching up.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a great experience to come here. I always appreciate coming here. I always have a good time, and it's been good to see some guys I haven't seen in a while and meet some new guys as well, so it's been a good time.
And what areas of your game have you improved on from last year, and maybe some areas that you'd like to continue working on into the summer?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things that I've improved on from last year is my compete and my move my feet, I guess. I think I recently struggled in that, and I worked on it, got better at it, and then as I got better, I saw success. So.
How would you summarize your last year in Brentford?
I think it was my best year of my OHL career. I think I connected with my teammates, found some chemistry, embraced the role, and succeeded in that role. So I think, it worked out, and I had a great time, had some fun. I'm just super glad for my experience in Brantford.
And what's up for you next year? Are you going back there, looking to maybe jump to the Utica? Like, where's kind of the next year?
So I'm currently going to the University of Notre Dame. Super excited for that opportunity. I can't wait to get started. Already been there the last couple of weeks, getting to know the guys, getting to know the program, getting to know the facilities. So I'm super excited. I think it's going to really elevate my game and make me become the player I want to become. So.
Why college hockey?
I think just for me, my development, just that extra strength, the extra practices, the less games, I think I get a better chance at really focusing on my craft and focusing on what I want to do. So that along with the school as well, I think it's a perfect spot for me.
Did you pick the brains of any of the college guys in here? You got a couple like Edwards and Dowd and all those guys. Yeah. You talked to any of those guys about maybe the transition to freshman year?
Yeah, I mean, I've talked to a bunch of people, those guys included, and I think it's going to be a different scenario for me for sure. Being used to playing 68 games and not practicing, I guess, is hard enough, or working out is hard enough during the week. But talking to them, I think, and seeing them, I think it's going to be really beneficial to me in my development.
What is the benefit to college? Maybe just building up your body, the frame?
I think it's just, building that strength. Yeah, that's it, really, building the strength and getting the opportunity to play less games. And with that being said, with playing less games, the games become more intense, more physical. And I think that's a big jump and a huge opportunity to play the pro level if you get to. So.
Set to become a Fighting Irish, I'm actually intrigued to see how Brown develops. I know he was drafted in the 6th round, and his chance of playing at the NHL, a little unlikely, but make no mistake, he proved a lot while in the OHL. So if he's ever given the chance to maybe play for Utica or what have you, I think he definitely has an interesting future. I won't say a bright future. I'll leave that door open, but right now, he is unsigned, but based on his showing in the OHL, not bad, I would say. Pretty good numbers. Okay, we're about to hear from head coach Ryan Perrant. Remember, he replaced Kevin Dineen early on in the season when the Comets went winless to begin their year. They were in desperate need of some changes. The Comets finished dead last in the North Division. They had a win-loss record of 31, 33, 6, and 2. They closed out the season 6-3-1, so at least they had some momentum on their side. Them and the Belleville Senators were the only two teams not to qualify for the AHL playoffs. So I think Perrant has a team going in a positive direction. We'll see what's in store for him, but here's what Perrant had to say at development camp, and also talking about the prospects. Take a listen.
I'm just getting your thoughts overall on the camp, the success it is, and how great this kind of is every summer for these guys to come meet each other, meet some of the people in the staff, and take away some things.
It's something that we really enjoy. We're not involved at all in the draft, so we watch it from afar and get to see kind of who the new players are coming through. So we're always excited to see the new faces, and at the same time you see the guys that have been through here a few times. Some guys almost I think 4 years is our longest so far, so you get a little bit of a connection and touch base with those guys, see how their summer's going. So it's exciting for everybody.
How nice is it, because for the players to meet some of the guys, but also for the staff to kind of meet some of these guys, may end up at Utica, may end up wherever, but a chance for you kind of meet and greet some of these guys too.
Yep. Yeah, like I said, some of them you might have had a past history with some of the new guys that are drafted, or have acquaintances or teammates that we're familiar with. And then, like you said, there's players that played a couple games with us at the end of the year that are going to be now competing in training camp. So it's good to get another touch with these guys and then set them up for training camp, be a little bit of support for them when they come into Jersey.
How excited are you, obviously, next year to kind of have things going, getting named the head coach and taking the reins?
I'm really excited. We had an opportunity to bring on some new staff members as well. So this, as much as it was meeting the new kids, we were meeting our staff for next season and getting familiar with each other, and it's something that we're all looking forward to.
I was just curious, we can go back. What was the turning point for you last season with the Comets? It seemed like there was a point where things got on the right track and you guys ended stronger than you started.
I don't know if there was an exact time. I've said it all along. I thought our team, we had a lot of good pieces, and there's a lot of different issues. We had a lot of injury trouble early on, but we really believed in the group we had, and they're an extremely competitive group as well. So once they started playing as a team and working together, that's when I think we started having a lot more success as a group. And even though we didn't finish where we wanted to. The last 2 months of the season were every game was competitive and we felt involved, and we were really happy with the success we had against teams, especially when you look at how well Charlotte did and our record against Charlotte and how we played in those games. So it was good for a lot of our players to see that, even though the season ended, like I said, not the way that we had wanted it to.
And you lost some players, you gained some players now this summer. What are your thoughts on kind of what your roster is shaping up to look like?
Well, it's exciting when you see the guys that had good years for us and might have had slow starts that really turned it around and were playing well are back. Whether they're with us or in New Jersey, that's something that we don't really like to talk a lot about, because they're at home right now working hard to make the team and make an impact, make an impression in New Jersey. So what we want to do is do the best we can to support them, give them any resource they can in the summer, and then once they're in Jersey, again, support them, help them out as much as they can to make this team. And once the rosters are set, I know with the group of players that we have organizationally, we're going to be happy, and we're going to be a motivated group next year with our team, whoever it may be.
And you lost Nolan Foote. I think he was the third most points on the team. How do you replace what he brought to your lineup?
Well, there's always there's always a second-year player that's moving into his third year, fourth year. So hopefully that there's those guys. Might be a rookie coming in that's going to have a good impression or make that step. But that's all part of it. Whether a guy goes up to Jersey or a guy gets an opportunity on another team, we feel like we were part of that development a little bit. So it is rewarding. The guys that move on, we wish them all the best, and they're players that we'll continue to follow and watch their careers grow as well.
And my last one is Dylan Went was a player that first year pro. He played, I think, like 12 games for you. What were your initial thoughts on him?
Hey, he's a gifted offensive player. I don't think he had as many opportunities that like anyone might not have wanted in their first year, but I think it was a good year for him for learning. He was supposed to be at the camp, but I think he wasn't feeling the greatest, and it wasn't a right idea to make him travel in. So he's one of the guys when I talk about having a good second year, a strong second year. I think he's going to be a really motivated player and somebody that we're looking forward to seeing how he comes into training camp.
What was your impression of the Squires in the short sample size you got in, even maybe a chance or somebody?
I think that there's a group of players that a lot of these guys they're not coming to main camp, or they're not coming to training camp, whether it's they're still going back to junior or their college teams. But there is a handful that are coming in, and those are the players that right now we're looking at that we're excited. We might have the opportunity of working with them, but you can see Shane. He's one of the guys, and Squires. They had opportunities with us at the end of the season, so we have a little bit of a sample of their game, and those are players that we're excited because they're the closest right now for us. So I thought they both had a strong camp, and another player in Milofsky, really strong camp, and those are the guys that are making the step professionally and that we're looking forward to.
Fitzgerald said Malek will probably start at the American League level. What have you learned about you so far?
Well, I think we've had him 3 camps now here. Goaltending is definitely not my specialty, but he's been a guy that in the rookie tournament in Buffalo, he's just a really calm goaltender. So what those, the best goaltenders obviously make those saves when you need them, but they can, how they play and their poise in the net really kind of reflects in the team in front of him, and I think he has a lot of those attributes. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see how he responds in camp here at the NHL and see what happens from there.
All this week, I've been talking about the prospects in the Devils system, some already established young talent on the roster like Shimon Nemitz and Seamus Casey. I hope you guys have been enjoying it, and fingers crossed that something big will happen for the Devils within the next few days. But as for today's episode, that's all the time I have for you. Continue to stay safe. Have a wonderful day, New Jersey. Go Devils. I'll catch you guys next episode. Thanks for listening once again.